Hi, hello, welcome to the 1111 Divine Lover series brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name, Priestess Abossi. I will be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the Divine Partnership Assessment. Let me say that again. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the dharmic side of the Divine Partnership. We're going to do an assessment to see where the connection is in the soul group and the collective. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, smash that like button right now. Hi, hello, and welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve you. Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. Again, my name is Priestess Abossi. If anything resonates deeply with you, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. This is going to be for Pisces season. And if you're looking for the karmic aspect, come around the full moon. It'll say Virgo, but again, it's still Pisces season, and that'll talk more about the karmic aspect. It's still a divine partnership assessment. It's still the divine union. It's just the karmic side versus the dharmic side, like we're doing right now. Let's begin, okay? We have the descending energy already. Oop, 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 oop. I'm hearing glory to my mind, glory to my sight, glory to my eyes. Joy all around me permeates my mind. So I feel like we're sensing, seeing, intuiting, perceiving what we haven't before. Something that's always been there, but maybe we were not 100% with it. I don't have all of what that means, but that's what we're getting. We have the Eight of Cups with the King of Swords. We'll be imposing the guidance today from Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley, illustrated by Lady Frida Harris. The Hermit is clarifying this King of Swords. So that's a high ranking individual. Typically, the King of Swords has some type of mastery of a technical skill, can be degreed, can be lettered, they can just be in a position of authority. And when none of those things ring true, there is a supreme authority. Okay. We'll be deliberating the findings from La Vida Stabila for the corresponding correlative energy. And we will be, any pairings will be from the Cosmic Coven Minor Arcana, and that's by Lillian Lazenby. It's also published by Ripe Avocado. And joy all around me, glory to my eyes. Yeah, so there's something here. The descending energy we have. Oh, I made a mistake. And that makes a lot more sense. Um, what just happened? Okay, wow, I'm disoriented, yo. So I was true the first time. The Herman and the King of Swords, it's probably somebody who's found their supreme authority because they had to go within inside and use soul's wisdom or something of that nature. Now, to a lesser degree, this can be the energy of having found a teacher, sometimes a teaching. It's typically Brahmanical practice, a brotherhood, especially with the tantric practice and sisterhood here. So I said brotherhood, I meant priesthood. I still mean sisterhood. So this is interesting. Now, I'm under the impression that we're going through this process of maybe getting delayed information or just learning how to use some type of technical skill or supreme authority because we're having to, how do I say this? Withdraw. Now, it can be, since we have this Brahmanical energy here, Brahman, it can be that we're going through a pilgrimage, whether it's a physical travel, whether it's a mental travel, whether it's a maturation, whether it's a renunciation. It's about ascending the mountain, ascending the summit, ascending the levels of consciousness. It's almost like when the teacher is ready, the student will, I mean, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When we receive some kind of initiation, it's not so much about what's being transmitted as it is our ability to perceive and hear it. Now, we don't know what we haven't been showed. That's part of it here because we're finding strength, courage, and wisdom. Not just inner wisdom here, but some type of emotional fortitude. There can be this golden goose or this need for security. And I feel like the need for security is going to be based out of our spiritual gifts. Okay, that was a mic drop. So I said ascending the mountain, going through the summit, going through a pilgrimage and maturation. It's also similar to the Eight of Pentacles, that grind, that flow, that hustle, but it's internal or it's spiritual and or it's spiritual. So we're moving into a space where we're going to be prepared to receive a material, a blessing, which is actually a technical skill. It can be some degree, some certification, whatever, what have you. What I'm getting here though is that we're golden goose. There's something innate in us that we're beginning to touch. As we ascend this mountain, we're going to be touching this deservedness, high worth value kind of energy, a golden goose laying golden eggs. We're the golden child, the chosen, no, the golden child. The chosen child is the cups. So there can be a Virgo moon here or a Pisces rising. That, I mean, okay, well, there we go. But I was trying to say Gemini rising, but it wouldn't be us because the way that the angle's working. Yeah. So there can be a Aquarius rising here, and this probably would be the other person, but it can be us. It can. There might be us as an Aquarius rising here. Yeah, and I'm hearing joy all around me, glory to my eyes. Yeah, freedom surrounds me. It's like our eyes are opening up, our heart is opening up, our soul is dancing inside of our body, our spirit is permeating through our being. Suddenly we see, suddenly we know, suddenly we feel what's been there all along. It's almost like the universe is conspiring to assist us, but it's been there all along. We've been the one. I just heard a quote: God never shouts because people that are right next to you don't need to shout. Wow. So we did get, it's a Leo descendant here. So, because the bottom of the chart would be Taurus, which means the beginning of the chart would be Aquarius, Aquario. So let's have a look see here. This probably most likely the Leo descendant is us, and we're dealing with an Aquarius rising that we keep coming up against. It can be Mars in Aquarius or the 11th house. It can also, if it's not an Aquarius rising, it could be somebody with strong 11th house energy. It is a benefactor of some kind, or the final recognition, realization, or consultation of this benefactor. They may not be older, they may be more mature or more powerful, have more access, or have some kind of technical skill that we need. They are loving, beneficial, and we have some kind of potentiality in us that's untapped or not fulfilled, not 100% tapped into. This is they're doubling down on their care, support, their compassion. And if they're not doubling down, it comes in spades. Nothing that we have yet to penetrate, permeate, even perceive. And it is a collective or cabal. They may have access to other beneficial. The word is benefactor. Now, if there is somebody that we're dealing with a Virgo rising. I mean, okay, geez, I keep doing this. So we have a Virgo rising, a Pisces rising that hasn't shown up yet. Um, or if they have shown up, we don't perceive that aspect of them yet. We're not going to read on that. A Gemini rising or a Virgo moon. So it is Alegreța al cuore, the joy of the heart. So actually, they know about the heart of a matter, something that we can do. They're discerning of something that we have that we've yet to understand. And we may be our own worst enemy in respect to this intimacy, this closeness, where they can see into us, peer into us. They can gain or measure or discern some innate untapped ability within us that hasn't been tapped. And I feel as if the closeness that we have, the access that we have, is not being tapped completely. We will mature. Let's say that that's the caterpillar turning into a butterfly. We will perceive this at another time, at a later time. It's not far off within the next 18 months. So we're going to say for the scope of this reading, within the next 6 months, we will, yeah, that was a confirmation. Right now, we're perceiving lots of, melancholia. We're not happy about what's going on, or it's moving too slowly. But what I'm being told is that this will come to us. That not only is this group of people that are very kind and benevolent, I don't like the energy of another being imposing their energy towards us, interrupting, interfering, interceding, interjecting, um, even, but this is positive. It's benevolent in its energy and its nature. We're the ones that are trying to wake up, level up. So things might be going too slow, or there might be a lot of delays, probably some abstract version or combination thereof. And I just keep hearing that joy all around me, glory to my eyes. Yeah. So glory, joy, freedom. This is exciting. And then there is, I feel like I don't know the lyrics. It's you loving me while I'm spending your ends. You loving me while I'm driving your Benz. It's a Erica Badu song. But what I'm getting is that we're taking advantage of something, someone that is in close proximity to us. It might not be congenial love or filial love. It might be that it's the Lord, whatever deity is assigned, attached to us, or that we derive from. Okay, so there's something here. So there is some growth, expansion, vitality, renewal, healing here, reinvigoration, enlightenment, enumeration here that is coming because we are slowly gaining some perspective. It will be some enlightenment, enumeration. It can come through a rock bottom. I honestly feel like it's a final revelation that took us a moment to be prepared for. It was difficult because there was some rule, regulation, restriction. We were restrained in some kind of way, terms and conditions. Something wasn't going to happen until this thing that wasn't going to happen until has to deal with some type of enlightenment, or until we have this. So this is feeling betrayed, feeling ruined, feeling at a rock bottom. It's basically an ordeal of some kind. Now, it does happen, okay? I want to say it does happen because honestly, we are feeling restricted, restrained, regulated. Ultimately, we are being wrangled down in some way. And again, I don't like the energy of another being, especially corporeal, imposing authority over us. I'm a big proponent of God sovereign free. I'm not detecting anything negative here, and I am detecting karma. So this is in alignment, no matter how much we dislike or hate it, object. We may not like it, we may not understand it, we may not agree with it. It's in alignment, it's in the spiritual flow here with illusthesia. Uh, we're feeling triumphant, victorious, or chosen, and it may be this other side. They may have been appointed by the divine to do this. And it's not always that they're intentionally doing it. It may be that their energy itself imposes this energy. Perhaps one of their significant planets in their chart lands on an angular house for us. Those can tend to step into the physical. If another person's planets in their chart hits our first and seventh house specifically, it will be a full type of event, a breaking out, breaking free eventually, but initially it may come to some kind of crisis, especially if another person's planet hits our seventh house. If the planet hits the fourth or the 10th house, it's some type of a world event, specifically the 10th house. That would be some type of completion event. We will be completing some type of karma, and oftentimes from a previous lifetime. So the first seventh house usually means an assignment, karmic. The fourth, 10th house usually means some type of graduation assignment, dharmic in its nature. So that's what I'm getting here. There's some kind of seventh house aspect. This person may be a Libra rising. This person may have their Venus in Aries or the first house. They are imbued with the power of justice. So not only do they serve justice, not only do they have justice, get justice, but them being in our energy, environment, surrounding location, justice comes through them for us. Because something here gets adjudicated as um, a sentencing. So there is some kind of damnation here. And personally, it's not us. Yes, damnation would be hitting us, I'll be honest, but not with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is the ability to leave. So I feel like we've been under some type of karma, and there are some enemies. We don't know who or what this is yet. But there's some energies, entities, ideologies around us, enemies that are doing the most, whatever that is, however that is, whatever that looks like, we don't know. Somebody also has their Venus in Libra. It's not us. Again, Aries rising. It's not us. Because not only do they restrain this energy that's running rampant, but they adjudicate it and it goes towards some type of, well, sentencing. I'm being told it's damnation, which means that there are evil, sinister, wicked beings. Miserly, bitter, living in sin goes towards purgatory. Evil, sinister, and wicked who have fallen from grace and have willfully trespassed, they go towards damnation. This entity, energy, ideology goes towards damnation, and it's not the person that's in our seventh house energy. So I was detecting, and there might be a sun in Gemini here. It's not us. What's the sun in Gemini? Or sun in the third house? Yeah, it's possibly a lover or some kind of benefactor. They mean very well for us. Gran Señores. This is a very benevolent, positive energy for us. It may be love because when I look to their side, there is La Matrice, the Queen of Cups. Now, we could also be this benevolent energy as well, or it could be the love of God coming to us in their company. It's heaven on earth, which Paradiso is here. And we're talking about damnation. So, Paradiso, Inferno, Purgatorio, we're talking about these things. And it's here. I didn't even notice that. And there's two people in here. So, whenever there's two people in the Sun card, it does talk about love. Or Paradiso, paradise, in garden. Garden of Eden. This energy entity ideology is aware of some kind of knowledge they've been given by God, so they can also be a high priestess. Oh my goodness. Bless the Lord, thank the goddess. Um, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Baba. This is amazing. Something needs to be put to bed, and they're aware of it. So I do feel like this energy is going to circle back around. They're going to come back around. Something's going to happen, whatever that is, however that is, whatever that looks like. That there's some love here, but I think also they've left us to our own devices. Yeah, there's some back and forth energetically, which is like a tension, a push, a pull, and it rises to the surface. Lots of learnings and lessons. It may be mutual with this two people in the Sun of card, the Son of. Yeah, so we're also both divine in nature. We're both divine beings. I'm hearing pure, bright, blissful souls. So we're exalted. We're probably both chosen. With the Six of Wands and okay, this reading is doing itself. Like once I come to okay, so let's just do the oracle read here because I'm clearly having a channel open. We solidify some practical knowledge through the experience here, but it's kind of like a delayed situationship. We learn a little bit after the fact. So we kind of stumble into success, and it's a series of painful lessons. Okay. Um, we're wanting to bring this to an end. Unfortunately, it's a bit of an ordeal. It's painstaking. We keep it's like rupture. It's like micro tears. Like you work to exhaustion. You build until failure. Then you have to go away, retreat, rejuvenate, and come back and try again. So it's like you fell into success. It's not the type of devastation, not with the Page of Swords on our side. Um, Otherwise, it would be. I'm sorry, it would be pretty painful. This is just like, okay, we're agitated because of a series of failures or false starts, misconnections, or almost maybes, probably not. But in the end, it works out because il desiderio il sole, you know, la justicia il sole, it's children's rights. There's some type of recognition here, and it's only the divine right of beings here. And if there has been some type of law of lesser magic, it's eradicated. This is the energy to eradicate law of lesser magic, meaning if some energy snuck through our naivete, our innocence, our purity, if something was exploited, if something was seized upon, especially through spiritual manipulation, energy projection, that would be undone here. Yeah, I'm hearing the song Come Undone by Peaches. What else is in the teachers of Peaches? Yeah, so for a long time, there was some type of sunken place or pinned down or a malady sickness Maybe it was a sickness of the spirit, an illness in the soul. Um, there, there, when we meet this connection. So this is probably a twin flame that is healing us through occasionally coming into energetic contact, perhaps in the physical, perhaps in the spiritual. It's almost like we're digging for gold, or through searching into ourselves, we keep coming up against this energy that illuminates, enlightens, and enumerates. And I would not say illumination, but, and normally I call this card out. The cards in this line, I call them out when we go to the next round. But I will say sun plus the English, come to me. Okay, el sole y la papessa, this, it means soul retrieval. Sun plus the high priestess, it means soul retrieval. Il justicia. I keep calling this il justicia, but it's not, it's la justicia. So this is definitely by the Lord, by the being that governs our creation. Because the il justicia is the judgment card, la justicia is the justice card, judice. And if it's il justicia, it means it's being judged. If it's la justicia, it means that there's a adjudication, some type of deliberation, some type of alignment. There's a lockstep between human and divine intervention. Like, we act upon the earth, the heaven comes through, pulls through. We stand on business down here, the heavens handle up. It's not so, because it's almost like our right, our specific fairness. There's something about fairness here. So High Priestess, and it's called the Adjustment, so I keep forgetting it's Justice card. High Priestess and the Justice card means woman's rights. Okay? So this other energy that we're dealing with is just as chosen as us, or if we're male-bodied or identified, with assigned or excuse me, if we are male assigned or identified, we're dealing with somebody that is feminine assigned or identified, or they're a little bit more virtuous than us. Even if we're the female assigned identified here on watching the video, this person we're connected to is a little bit more upright than we are. We might be somewhere deeper in our unhealed aspect, but we're healing quickly. I don't want to denigrate that, it's going okay. But they, if there was to be like a right or wrong, they would be right. And it's not with us being the Page of Swords. We're okay. There's no Seven of Swords here or Devil. We're okay. Yeah, we're just there might have been a little bit of resentment or frustration. They are frustrated, and we are holding a resentment, or we're hurting their feelings. We're making them cry a little bit. I'm hearing some narratives. It's on our side, we're telling them why just being direct in communication and telling us what they expect out of us is more beneficial. And on their side, they're telling us what their expectations have been, or why there's a little bit of a resentment coming through. It's almost as if like their feelings are getting hurt, or their feelings stepped on in some kind of way. Okay. In my experience, on the divine side, the masculine energy should state their intentions more, their expectations. The expectations get stated by the feminine, the intentions get stated by the masculine. And that's energy, regardless of, where we are in our actual physical orientation. Spiritually, the way the energy works is the masculine talks about intentions out loud, and the feminine talks about needs and expectations out loud. The masculine talks about wants and intentions. Okay, so I'm just going to put that out there and move on. This has been a very rich on this item. We still have some doubles. We haven't. What is this pair of eights? We don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about this pair of pages. What it's saying is that Five of Swords. But you see how there's a connection here? If we're not yet on the right, on the up and up, it still seems to be karmic because we're second guessing or restrained. And this person has an open heart, open love. It's becoming burdensome. Because, we have their heart in our hand and they're being affectionate towards us. There's something that needs to stop. We're digging a hole that we will fall into. The next time this energy is benevolent and affectionate towards us, we need to meet that. There needs to be some higher ground that we get to, or we're going to need to actively withdraw from the situation because there's harm here. Double five, something's at a loss, something's being depleted, debilitated, it's being degraded in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. And this other energy does have the ability to defend and protect themselves, stand up and take action. But what they're doing is opening the door. So even if they are masculine embodied, they're opening the door like the feminine energy would, but I don't know if they're masculine identified or assigned. I just know that they're opening up the door. That what they want, kings want, is openness in terms of action, in terms of vision, drive, desire, motivation that might need to be shared out loud. Not so much. It's more about the feelings need to be mutual. Because Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups. Five of Cups, undesirable. Five of Pentacles, untouchable. Two fives mean some type of depletion, debilitation. Things are at a loss. We're taking a loss here. I didn't look into the Sun, Gemini energy. This other side is a Gemini Sun, or they have their Sun in the third house. This energy loves us and they're attending to us. So they may be an angel, but also it's calling them a virgin. So love could be here, but it's about to die or transform. There's some things that haven't been said that both sides are under the energy. How they appear to us is some virgin, how we appear to them is sensual and sexual. So we may be flirting with them without knowing. And there's just something that they haven't experienced or haven't considered yet. They might not know that they're acting as a vessel for the divine as well, meaning they may not be spiritual. The Queen, in this deck, this Fanchula hasn't, it's like this card here. They haven't tapped into their spirituality. The risk here is becoming too fanatic. We might not be aware that we're coming off sexual or that we are seen as sexual to them. The risk here is becoming either too precocious or promiscuous. Okay. Perdón, I need to close the window. It's cold again. We had a false spring. It doesn't rain before I have my run, but we'll see. Yeah, joy all around me, glory to my eyes. So behold, we should behold something here. Let's move on. We spent a lot of time there. Okay, so there is some karma here. I don't know if the relationship is karmic yet because on this other side, it would appear to them that something's unrequited. I don't feel that's the truth. We're hiding our love. We're being very secretive about our love. There may also be moon in Gemini or moon in Capricorn. Somebody could have their Mercury either in the ninth house or in Sagittarius. Somebody could have their Jupiter in the third house or in Gemini. Somebody could have their Mars in the 12th house here. What this is saying is that we're going towards some karma. There can be obsession, compulsion. There can be fear, ignorance, illusion, falsities. There can be some type of toxicity, negativity. There also can be some type of spell work here. It's malangria negroso, so it's not designed to like bring heartache or heartbreak or karma or chaos. It's designed to, you know, muddy up the waters, to introduce negative energies, elements. Now there is a blockage here. I don't know if it's being created or if it's something that was present from some type of pinning down in a jar, leaving in a sunken place, mirror magic. Now we're learning about the potentiality for an unconditional loving relationship, Ten of Cups. We're learning that. Two of Swords with the High Priestess can talk about discerning or learning. This other side feels that the seeds that they've planted have either gone bad or they planted bad seeds, or ultimately there's some type of spell work or manipulation. There's an alert here that there's a strategy or an agenda. I can attest to that in my personal life. There's some kind of strategy or agenda here. I don't know if that's so good. That might be. I mean, I don't think you need to act strategic towards a person, especially when there's love involved. You don't need to come with an, modus operandi, some type of tactic or motive. That might be why there's some second guessing or restriction, restraint, rule, regulation here. With a double eight, it means that on the opposing side, it means that there's manipulation or energy projection, typically spell work, or some type of learning from indulging a lot of time. It can also mean, to a lesser degree, because it's uncommon but possible, they may have spent so much time that they're becoming obsessive. They want this really bad. And there is some type of spiritual criminal law here. So we can't be dealing with demonology. This is a lot more stronger side of the game. I'd rather have the justice with like a five of wands or something. We went full blown here. Uh, so it can also be, again, the rule of lesser magic. And so if, remember I was saying like it's not happening, it's not working, they may be under the rule of lesser magic, because I was just saying like there is some blockage here, but it's not coming out of being left in a sunken place, pinned down, mirror magic. But if there was, it would be on their side here. So ultimately on our side, we have gracious exalted influence over the entire cycle, because there's some rule, regulation, restriction here around some type of soul union. Typically it's unconditional love, relationship, or happily ever after long-term relationship. We're discerning if we should be in a long-term relationship with this individual, or we're going to be coming to that. Right now, we're probably just aware of the fact that we're from the same soul group. High Priestess with the Ten of Cups. Again, I was saying there might be Mars in the 12th house, specifically just Mars in the 12th house. So that could be that this is movement, action from a previous life coming in, or some assignment where we're under orders. We received marching papers from the divine. Somebody may have Jupiter in the 3rd house or the sign of Gemini. So typically, this is a connection that manifests through friendship. I would completely overlook that because I don't do that. Once we're friends, we're friends. So I can imagine how somebody might overlook this, but I'm aware other people aren't that way. Other people operate differently as well. If it's Jupiter in the 3rd house, basically, they may be communicating love through giving affirmations, giving some type of acknowledgement, compliments, or admiring our skills, our crafts, our what we're cultivating. And there may be through the community, close knit, having access to us. They're living within 400 kilometers, 250 miles. It can also come through the friends group or some type of social group. It can also be somebody that is right on the periphery of our family, like a family friend, or like the friend of a younger sibling, or the friend of a cousin or a neighbor or something like that. It can be that we belong to the same, like, I don't know, bowling group, knitting circle, hiking club or something. So, when I'm getting like this, it's time to process here. We have this Jupiter and Gemini energy is both parties. So I do feel like something about them where they need to be friends for, something about us where we're meeting them through a club or a group that we belong to. Yeah. There's also some kind of adjudication here. They're being brought under rule, regulation, restriction because of how they're acting. So they may be working under a strategy. We spent a lot of time here, unless we know of a situation where we're being manipulative, we're being brought under some type of regulation. Yeah, they're holding a resentment, I feel, what we're actually really loving. So remember I said there was a conversation I was hearing about us explaining how we are, them explaining what their resentments are or something. They're holding a resentment, which means they had an expectation that didn't get met. And they're still invested. They haven't been able to let go, let God. We already had the 8 of Cups come out on our side right in the beginning, which meant either we were maturing or we were willing to withdraw. We might have withdrawn our energy to retain our peace. We're actually quite homely, loving, caring, kind. We were being friendly to them, and what we don't understand is like they're ready to go towards something else, or they've made some type of discovery where their heart was engaged, or they have a resentment, or they're being adversarial. I'm not getting that. I'm getting that they're hiding the fact that they are really contemplating a love connection with us, or some type of deeper intimacy, but they haven't shared that. So again, how are we supposed to know? Because with the pensiero and letero, leterato, it means like they may be willfully withholding something. Not always in a negative, although it is brought into suspicion here with La Nemica. I'm told that there's some kind of resentment here. And I was just checking on this, what is this expansion of soulmate union here? Is it coming through a soul group? Is it the fact that they, become intimately involved with their friends or whatever? 'Cause I try to avoid that. What this is saying is like, yes, everything that I was sensing and then some. We have this situation where there's a union here, and everything that goes down is going to bring us towards this union. There's a lot of having to come back to this, though, domestical. There's a lot of leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. Not Knight of Wands yet. I haven't seen it. The Returner. That's the run through you kind of energy. Whether it's okay, yeah, and they're stuck some way. They're yoked to us, but they're stuck because la superbia. We need to share something or show out or show up or you know. Now we have a 888 here. What's that about? Yeah, make it happen. They're waiting for us to make this happen, and that's either they're confused and they need to stop second guessing, or I think they want to be in a relationship with us, and they're really second guessing that now. There's some idea in their mind that they can work towards being loved. They need affection, adoration. They really need to be cherished. I think this is the kind of person that likes to be showered with affection. Let's see, because they have a 888 on their side. Let's see. Out of the auto here. Let's see, Page of Wands. So they need an invitation because they're feeling either oppositional because of their boundaries, or they need to attack something. They need clarity or discernment in some kind of way. Let's see. Yeah, because we're both vying for a spot. We need practical. They need communication, or they're feeling divorced. Because we're already in a relationship with them. It might not have been acknowledged out loud, but the blessing on our end is that we're in a relationship with them. The blessing on their end is this difficulty. They're going through this ordeal with us, learning their own set of lessons. That's why it's karma. Whatever's happening is karma. I do have one question because it feels like something got wrangled down here. What's the Justice card with the Eight of Swords? They've been restrained or restricted in some kind of way. It's almost like this. Oh, they've been arrested in the spirit, because it's almost like they're being detained for it's like protective custody. Unfortunately, it's protective custody because they may get away from the protection, is what I'm being told. And they need to sit with some tears. I don't want that for them, but they need. Okay, wow, this is getting juicy. I'm worried about speed. I try not to let these readings go over an hour. I feel like that's going to get away from me. Okay, so even though this was had some karma, it may not be karmic because the hangman has come out before the reading's over. The reading's over once we see the temperance, the emperor, and the empress. We've already had the lover's card, and we have the devil, but we have the hangman, which kind of negates it being karmic. It was catalytic here. So we don't have that far to go because I was worried about time, honey. I'm sorry. Okay, I can calm down a little bit. Let me grab some more tea. Oh, wait, I have some. Ooh, this is getting juicy, and I'm kind of exhausted. I'll have a sandwich after this. Don't worry. I love this work. It's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the honor to do so, the privilege to do so. This is actually coffee. Um, it's hazelnut, cardamom, and cinnamon with coconut milk. So it tastes like chai coffee, but it's not a dirty chai. It's not a shot of espresso. It's like a full coffee. Cafe is more Americano, not so strong for the Americans here. It's not so strong, and it's more volume. For those who've been old timers, we used to do tea time with Priestess Gorgeous. And whenever I would sit down and I always talk about whatever drink that I had or whatever sandwich I brought to tea time. So that's still a remnant, but we don't do that anymore. Tea time with Priestess Gorgeous or Serene Priestess Abossi. Okay, so yeah, they have some learning to do. Explícame, I'm hearing that. Explícame. So something needs to be explained to them because they desire discernment. They also desire not a choice but a decision. But also there's a choice on our end. So they want us to choose them. They feel like they've been rejected, and I'm picking that up. I'm going to use another clarifier. I'm sorry. This is the Mystical Tarot by, I don't know, Giuliano de Costa, Los Carabeo. Yeah, so whatever I said was true. Hold on. Here, we have something else. Yeah, they feel rejected, is what my intuition is saying, and it's being confirmed right now. Because energy had come at a previous time, but they have that feminine thing where they hold the door open and invite us. They don't actually, self-disclosure here. Unless you say, listen, I'm feeling you, I want to connect with you, let's get some time alone, check the connection, understand the vibe. If you don't say some abstract version of that, completely over my head. And I am open to connecting. I wasn't like a year ago. So we missed it, is what I'm trying to say. Which I understand because I'm clearly male bodied, assigned male at birth, but I'm feminine identified. I'm more alpha and work and more supportive at home. So there's some kind of energy here where it's that is us. They may be the boss out in the world, but they may come home to, and that happens with matriarchal tribes, even the masculine, that they always defer to the feminine for like, ruling the nation and ruling the home, and they only go out and assume the masculine role in the marketplace. So when they're at work, when they're in their professional role, that would make sense to me completely. Sun card, Queen of Cups, because we also have the Knight of Cups. So that also says that they need a revelation because they've already said something that we just didn't hear. So we need to say our piece. And this is hard sometimes to discern because if we're watching this video, 85% of us are feminine bodied, or at least on the YouTube, we select female. So it would be hard to have to take on that role if that's not our normal. That makes sense. Like if we're feminine identified or feminine assigned, we're going to expect their energy to come towards us. We don't go chasing butterflies and hummingbirds. We cultivate a beautiful garden that attracts said butterflies and hummingbirds. That's how it works. Dark card. So that's the hope, faith, and optimism. That's the bigger, brighter, and better. That's the life, path, spirit, karma, destiny. That's the calling on our life. Is to have um, beautifully alluring talents and abilities. We know what to do when something comes towards us, but that energy needs to come towards us. And this is the challenge on the other side. They have this perception, hangman here, and they really need perspective. And listen, it's first of all given to us by the divine. Ten of Pentacles, hangman. But this family planning or business building it's not business here in the love reading. It's delayed. And when they have that creative new idea, that idea, um, things come together. So We may need to give them that idea. That's what I'm trying to say. We may need to say, like, hey, homie, I don't know if you're aware, but I've been holding the door open for you. You want to pull through, come hard, and stand on business? Or do I need to entertain another suitor? Because that's the thing, though. They are feeling somewhat rejected. Because there's a transformation in love. So we're assigned to this individual, but we will get another assignment if, because I don't know where the Five of Swords was. I think it was in the clarifiers. But there's deliberation over this contract. If the Five of Swords comes out pretty soon, what that means is that it could be voided. There's going to be a transformation here. So unless we're dealing with strong Gemini, Scorpio energy, this could be voided. Because there's delays in love here is what this means. But also it means that we're at an impasse. There's this song I don't remember. I mean, it's Mediterranean. It's Mediterranean Nights. It's a type of circuit party that listens to like club music, rave music. It's not very high BPM. It's more dance music of a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern flavor. And there's this song, "Wake Me Up, Love Me Down, Let's Go Party, Have Around, me up, Let's Make It Happen." Na 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 na. Yeah, wake me up. Yeah, so let's make it happen. Yeah, so we might be the one that needs to make it happen, but it shouldn't be. Well, actually, it is us. It's us. The movement, the action is on our side here. Whoever's watching the video, this down, this triangle is us. This triangle is them. This side is them. This side is us. Here's the combined energy. This line is the combined energy. So um, we have the movement, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. So Gemini rising, Mars and Gemini. We are desiring some type of choice. Oh, excuse me. They need to make a choice. We need to make a decision. But the way that it looks is that it's mirrored. They think that we didn't choose them. They feel okay. I just had a whole download. Okay, there was some kind of narrative, and one party said, "I've understood something was going on since this moment a little bit of time ago," and the other party was like, "Well, why didn't you XYZ action?" And we say, "Well, there's been this elemental P behavior with this EFG understanding." And the other side says, "Well, I needed you to TUV response so that I was under the understanding." So there's a moment of clarity that needs to come, and that was clear to me since the Eight of Swords was out. Because there was something was restrained from going further, but it wasn't allowed to also dissipate. And remember, I was looking for that Five of Swords. It doesn't come. The reading's going to be over before the Five of Swords comes out. Unless we go all the way to the end, it does come up, but it doesn't come up soon enough. Because the Emperor is not far from here. I mean, the Empress is not far from here. We don't have far to go at all. So That's just what I'm getting and what I'm sensing. Let's try to go faster. We're desiring some type of choice. I mean, we're desiring some type of decision. Two of Swords is a decision. Two of Wands is a choice. What's the difference between a choice and a decision? A choice is like a compromise. A decision is a sacrifice. What does that mean? When a decision, you can't take that back. A choice, you can still choose something else. We can develop more, but there you go. Decidere, decision. It means to divide into two. Cessare, the last part of decision. It's to cut. It's to cut into two. So when you make a decision, something you leave behind. So that's the difference between a sacrifice and a compromise. With the compromise, you still get something. With the sacrifice, sometimes you go without. So do you see why I keep feeling like this other side is in their feminine energy? Because they still get something. The masculine is the one that sacrifices more. Why? Because for masculine energy, if they find the person, that person's always going to be their weakness. For the feminine energy, if they find that person is always going to be their strength. We can argue, kind of in the mystical school, there's a whole mystical canon here that this is a very encoded message. It's deeply enriched in the mysteries. It's not going to be surface level, actual, factual, intellectual, logical. It's not. That's not how this conversation is working right now. And I understand that assumption that things should make sense. Um, there's a mystery here, and we might not be ready for that. Because we started out with pages, and now we're in the ninths. So there's some type of initiation here, and I feel like it's mutual. We both go through it. On our side, we are needing to take actions of the heart, and we're needing some type of decision. And on their side, there's an ego death or some type of transformation, and it's this strategy that they had. I don't think it was right, but it does open them up to new information, new ideas, because they think that they're in their own way imposing some type of movement, some type of action, which means they were action starved. They didn't understand how the movements were going. And I remember the high priestess came out on our side. So we were probably difficult to discern. They might not have understood how we were moving. They might have been too suspicious or suspect. That's the thing with the Eight of Swords. They do second guess a lot. They do doubt a little bit. And with the Scorpio, they can be scrutinizing, and I don't think their scruples, their scrutiny was up to snuff. I don't think that their decision making criteria or their judgment values were in alignment. What is this? So they're expecting us to be. I just heard another conversation. Um, the conversation was that when we do have another meetup, I feel like it was us, but somebody said to the other one, listen, I can't go through that again. Not only was it difficult, but I let a lot of people down knowing that there's something here. Meaning we had other options, we had other choices. Or the other one of them did. One party is like, I it doesn't say this, but it was like the energy of like, hey, there's other options with other people that I could be talking to. Things could be moving for me if I had chosen somebody else, but I've already chosen you, or I was already assigned to you. And so I'm letting other people down without the absolute faith that this is going to go somewhere. because this other party, not us, has some strategy and agenda, and it was to yield or to impose or kind of to force our hand. I dislike that language. Um, and how we responded was just like, okay, well, here's a learning opportunity, and that's not exactly how they thought it was going to go. I think they thought it was going to like, get energy, action, impetus out of us, and really what it did was like, listen, homie, you put me in a spot that nobody puts me, and you're not going to compromise my peace. You know, I will obey the Lord, but I will not lose sleep at night, homie. You do that again, you're out. I don't feel it was intentional. And I think we woke up quicker than they did. So it was I'm that way. Once I have an answer, I want to implement it right away. And if there's delays, once I've already worked something out, I need to vacate. So I don't know, not everybody's like that, but that's what I'm understanding. Okay, now we can go to the doubles here. We have two knights, and we have a double two and a double knight. And it's the second hand where we have two pairings. So what is this pair of twos? On their side, yeah. So they're feeling either heartache, heartbreak. They might feel like we're attached to somebody else, so something has you know, intervened in the situation, triangulation. There can also be some type of binding, but they're standing their ground. They're unwilling to accept that something might take away their spot. They're holding out for this, even if it's painful. Um, okay. Okay, I'm hearing narratives. It felt like somebody was saying to the other one, "I'm a communicator. I don't move in secret. It may be difficult to discern my movements, but you can be direct with me." Is what I'm getting. What's this pair of knights here? Five of cups. So some kind of dispersal, like a bursting of a bubble. There's a convergence here on a disappointment because we're in a union and they've been chosen. They're victorious here. So this three of swords, yeah, because they're needing to clear some type of um, obstacle, hurdle, blockage, and it was painful. That whatever this delay was painful. Now we have a Queen of Cups. Finally, we're showing up in feminine energy. Finally, they're showing up in masculine energy. Finally. And there's an impasse here with the. Let's look into that impasse. What was that impasse? Yeah, a reunion. So they were attending to something, but also there was hope. There's some kind of transformation here. I don't know if it's positive. Yeah, there is a transformation here. There was an ending to, okay, so they had something going on, something that they were giving energy to. I don't think it was another connection, but maybe. They want change. King five, wanting change. Um, of Pentacles. Whatever masculine energy here needed to be passive or rule from behind the scenes. Okay. Our new beginning was delayed. Our coming into contact with the masculine was delayed, but there was a new masculine or a new commitment. So somebody might come through, pull through, and give this a name because we're coming up against a reunion here. Six of Cups. Let's read this differently. Um, so once we swiftly move in and have some type of communication, that's the perspective that we need, because right now perspective that we need, because right now the perception is that we're needing a reunion, or we're needing safety, or we're needing sanctuary. This other side, they may have their, they could also have their moon in Scorpio or the 10th house or the 4th house axis. They may be a Aries rising or Mercury. Yeah, once I said Aries rising or Mercury, it completely, the channel went. So I've just, it tells me that I've pinpointed them, and they are the masculine here, but they weren't in that energy for a while, which meant they weren't taking action. Because finally, we're in our energy here. And it's saying that once we have a conversation or some type of intellect, reason, communication, or we seize, move swiftly for something, changes get made. Because they do share with us why we were both on the outs. It seemed like there was some mutual hardship, but they thought they were going through a hardship until we shared with them that the gate's been open for them this whole time. They didn't know. Once we walked through the gate, changes happen. Or once we open the gate, changes happen. What's this Aries rising or Mercury in Aries? What is this? Yeah, so somebody needs to act or declare something, because again, this is very precious. They don't want to leave, but they're stuck in this union, and they need to know. They need to acknowledge this connection for what it is. What is this changes that need to be made here? This Five of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, King, Five of Pentacles. What is that? They need to actually recognize that they've been given something here. They're hoping for a connection, but they're already in one. They might not realize that. They need intimacy to know. They need more time inside the connection, because we're acting not like we're matched, but we're matched. We're so strongly matched that the universe is already looking at us as being in physical union. And the only time it comes out that we're separated is in the clarifier. It's not in these. Well, maybe. Hold on. It didn't come out that we're in separation. It didn't come out that way. So I'm still curious. What does it say that there's a new man here? That they finally acknowledge their position and their role in the situation. That they're running around feeling lost or feeling like they missed their spot when they don't even recognize it's still there for them. They think that they're trying to do what we want, but they don't actually know what it is that we want. They got it wrong. It wasn't as it appeared to them. So they were acting that way with the strategy and agenda because they were perceiving things inadequately. And on our end, we are difficult to read. That's why we need to be more direct in our communication. And now we're officially over, but we're going to do one more round after this because I like the Empress to be on one side. It's good that the Emperor is on his side and Empress is on our side. Or their side, I should say. I'm sorry. Empress is on Our side and the emperor's on their side. Yeah, so there's some prickly ickly here. It's getting hard for them. Um, they feel some kind of okay. I keep running into narratives. So the more we share about ourselves to the other one, the more we unclench, and it turns out that we're already very deeply spiritually enmeshed. We're very well matched, but our humans are. Does that make sense? So once we kind of unclench, we could because it'll come together very easily once there's mutual understanding. And that song's coming back again. Joy all around me, glory to my mind. Yeah, freedom. I think we're feeling constricted. Okay, let's read this, read this. So we're going on the journey towards healing. Where we're at right now is healing, choice, favor, redemption, salvation, Six of Cups. With the Nine of Swords, though, there was some type of either backfire or guilt because of shame or some type of um, remorse and regret because we're kind of frozen out or isolated from a reunion in some kind of way, which will come with the reconciliation. I feel like we're really deeply wanting to reconcile, and there's delays to the reconciliation here. The reason this is because somebody is out there manifesting or producing something. It may also be that there's work obligations or other commitments with the King of Pentacles. Somebody may be a moon in Sagittarius or a Virgo rising. That's the second time. Okay, so finally the Virgo rising showed up because we accidentally said that before. Somebody may be a Virgo rising here. Moon in Gemini as well, it could be. Okay, so what's this Virgo rising in Gemini? We got an immediate reaction on that. Here's the Virgo rising. Yeah, they've had an awareness and awakening, some kind of information just came through where now they're like, okay, I need to change it up because I didn't anticipate that, or I didn't factor that, or wherever they arrived at their judgment, or their discernment, or their conclusion, one little extra bit of information, they need to reconsider something. Um, Basically, we are in a connection, whether they know it or not, whether we know it or not. Somebody is competing or blocking, and eventually, if they're acting more um, oppositional, adversarial than we are, but we appear to them to be acting more. We have authentic feelings, and they think that we don't have feelings for them. That's what they think. They might have been convinced of that, or they might believe that, or something like that. So the moment that they learn what's really up, it completely changes things for them. They're no longer that way. All of a sudden, they start attending to us like crazy, which has been what's been missing this whole time. As we've been maturing, as things have been building in the background, like that, it's kind of faded, but it's a butterfly coming out of the cocoon. Um, a butterfly having recently emerged from the cocoon for the first time. That was the delays. It was delays until something kind of came out into the open. Because this is a new fanaticism. There's going to be a lot of focus on each other in a moment. Okay, and then the Pisces energy came out. So remember when I was saying, oh, Pisces rising, oh, Virgo rising, and it wasn't there? Both energies have come out now. So now this makes complete sense. There's a Virgo North Node here. Venus in the sixth house or in Virgo. We have Venus in the Yeah, we have Venus in the sixth house or in Virgo. We have Venus in Cancer or in the fourth house. So Venus in the eighth house, we would need to feel the love from them, and Venus in the or they would need to feel it from us. And Venus in the sixth house would mean needing to be shown. But we're going towards a confrontation. This is basically saying that we are something that they can't perceive. There's a veil over them, or something is latent, and it does come out. Something does strengthen or solidify more than strengthen. It's yet to manifest. A communication is the thing that's going to bring it. Intellect, reasoning, communication, magician. That we're skilled beauty, but also that they're illustrious. There may also be some kind of magic on their side. It doesn't need to be from them. It doesn't need to be intentional, even. They could be so strong in their will that they're in some kind of maya or illusion. They're trying to interpret something they believe in aren't in, but they just can't with the moon card. They need to do a dark night of the soul. They need to get to the depths of their soul. They need to. I just heard the language wanting, yeah, balancing. I just heard the language wanting you has brought a lot out of me that I had to learn and discover. Insecurities, infatuation, triggered. So we trigger them. They're feeling rejected. And then we're difficult to understand. Intelligent, independent, progressive, unique, idealistic, artistic, altruistic. They're perceiving some type of flighty, detached, aloof, impulsive, rebellious, unpredictable, restless energy. Um, they think that we don't care. We just needed time and space to think on our own. We weren't going to commit to something that wasn't clear or wasn't, or the work wasn't clear. Yeah. Um, Poor baby. Yeah. So there's some type of, oh, wow. Um, they perceived us to be a Casanova in some kind of way. This situation pushed us to be better because we deserve better. They were under the impression that, well, they're not able to let go. They are stuck in the situation, but they were under the impression that we weren't giving them enough. And so they did try to walk, is what I'm getting, um, or detach or something of that nature. They think we have multiple lovers, whether that's true or not. Part of the conversation I heard earlier was that we don't. And the way that we come off doesn't mean that in reality that we've had a lot of love or have a lot of experience, or we may have experience, but it's not the type of experience that is easily apparent. I want to check and see what this Venus in the eighth, or this the fourth or the eighth. I keep saying eighth for some reason. I don't know. So it's Venus in Cancer or the eighth house. So if there's Venus, and it's not, it's supposed to be Venus in Cancer or the fourth house. So that would mean that somebody here is a Sagittarius rising. because Cancer for a Sagittarius rising is on the 8th house. Because I was trying to say Venus in Cancer or in the 4th house, but 3 times came out the 8th house, which means Sag rising not. For Cancer to be the 8th house, you must be a Sagittarius rising. So somebody here is a Sagittarius rising with Cancer Venus. And then we got a whole storybook here. So let's read this down. We don't know that somebody is really depressed. They feel either rejected or their friends are telling them that they've been rejected. What they don't know is that we're feeling horrible, but we're committed to this. So somebody's under the impression that we don't want them. And some kind of information comes quickly to let them know that that was never the case. The thing turns around the whole time. They really do not know that we're sitting here wanting, hoping, wishing, and praying for them. They need to know that we're stuck on loving them. We can't undo this, not easily at least. And they really don't have that impression. They're under some other impression. I don't know what that means. I'm trying to figure this out. We're the situation is messed up. Amalato, the malady, the sickness, it's stuck through events beyond our control. And but we're still committed. And what's beyond our control here is that we're stuck loving them. Lamante. We can't get away from this love. We can't change how we feel. Our heart has chosen. There's some type of people are going the easy way here. Alegre, alegrezza, they're alegria, they're well, I said alegrezza. There's the heart is exposed here, but it's in public. And they may or may not know that Lamante that we have love because the way that it looks to others is that they're stuck loving us when we haven't communicated or given them enough to believe that it's mutual. What I'm understanding is that they are embarrassed or they feel some kind of way because they love us and their friends think that they love us when it's not warranted, but it's not true. Yeah, okay, something's here. I think they had to be silent about this. They are in despair because there's a union here. This is something that God is definitely has his hands all over, so that means that it's divine in nature. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This was a message about the twin flame connection. Four of Wands did not come out, but the Two of Cups did. So we're in a soulmate union that was catalytic. There was some type of karmic lesson. We learned it. It's just that funnily enough, I did the moon spread and not the lovers spread. So this month is going to be about love. Okay. I'm going to do another video. It comes out about a week or so from now. It'll be the moon spread, the full moon, but also look at it as a lovers. I'll do the 1111 Divine Lovers assessment in that video. I did the moon spread for the 1111 Divine Lovers. So I did a lunar spread that should have been a divine partnership assessment, and my brain didn't even pick up on that. So I think that's very interesting. I feel with that, you know what that tells me, dear? It tells me that we're going through some type of awakening. Okay, that's what that tells me. This was about both parties going through their own individual awakening and healing. On one end, they're perceiving unrequited love. And they're getting obsessive and fanatical. On another end, there was some second guessing and confusion because we were ruled, regulated, and restricted. We were wrangled down, and it wasn't clear why or that we were wrangled down because it felt like karma was involved and they were on the up and up. They are a little bit more innocent than we are, but we are a little bit more imperceptible than they are. Meaning, like, we did nothing wrong, they did nothing wrong, but it would appear to each other that we're both doing something wrong. That makes sense. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. What did I say that was going on? I said something was going on. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what to call this video. We have Capricorn and Divine Feminine. So divine love and emerging intelligence is what I'm sensing here. We need to chase them a little bit, but we can't chase them in the traditional sense. The feminine does not chase, but we need to make it very clear that the door is open and they need to walk through. Yeah, they were under the impression that, yeah, under the wrong impression. That's what this video is about. Under the wrong impression. But the feminine needs to chase a little bit. And that doesn't mean to get off the throne and go after them. That's not what I mean. But we need to go out of our way to make it very abundantly clear that the door is open and the feelings are mutual. But this is called under the wrong impression. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Just a quick message for all those still lost out there. I'm writing this down before I forget. Under the wrong impression. And this is for when? Pisces? Okay. God is involved. God is involved. It's Dattatreya. It's Dattatreya. It's if you go on the Google and you look up Trimurti, 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 look that up. That's who's involved here. Um, yeah, and it's also Tridevi. So the universe is conspiring here. Um, just a quick prayer for all the still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confused, and lost into the time trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine in unconditional love and universal oneness. Ha'anapana. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, that your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be happy. May you be whole. May you be at peace. May you receive everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. This is a message to all those still lost out there, to illusion, to delusion, to confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, in unconditional love and universal oneness. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Sayonara, Las Vidania, Avidazane. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye, dear. Remember to smash that like button.